All right, y'all. Want to start off a little different. It's 9 o'clock. All right, 9 o'clock. Just wanted to play around a little bit with you all for a second. Now I got double duty. I got to try and worry about talking on this video, admitting folks in the room. Had to put a block on there because YouTube don't allow you to. When I started posting Zoom all on the internet, I have to figure out how to put this stuff on a webinar and do it from that point now. So we won't have these problems. All right, right now we're just letting some more people join. I'm trying over here, look in the chat box, go over here. I'm a lot better than I was at first at doing this. Still not the best at doing all of this, but hey, can't do nothing but get better, right? All right, Mr. Jones, how you been? Do I got where y'all can't unmute? SL, can you hear me? Can you unmute? I'm trying to make sure y'all can unmute then.
Hey, I'm doing cool, man. I got you.
I'm not sure if you can hear me though. I can hear you.
I can hear you now. I can hear you now.
What's going on?
Just trying to come down off that hype. Come down off that hype. Come down off that hype. That's all I can say.
That's all right. Keep living. You slowly but surely you'll get there.
Yes, indeed.
It still sound like me. You guys had a great time.
You know, the challenge is when you do something like that, and then you got to come back. I mean, you work the whole time, and it don't seem like work, and then you got to come back to something that seem like work. That's the challenge.
That's the challenge.
Yeah, because I mean, I promise you, from the moment I got on the plane, I started immediately reading, studying, and looking over stuff, and making sure I got my I's dotted and my T's crossed before I even get there. Then by the time I get in the car, I'm already just going off talking about all the stuff that's going on in my head, all this stuff about what we can do, what we can't do, blah, blah, blah. To the moment we got to the room, I pulled out laptop, start working some more to, hey, we want to visit properties, look at land. I mean, and all of it, none of it seemed like work. I mean, instantly. I mean, come back, go to the room, same thing. Just pull out the laptop, start working some more. Till you go to sleep.
Mm-hmm. When you find your passion, find what you love to do, it's never work.
Exactly.
It's never work. That's all that is.
I do greatly appreciate everyone being on the call on time for 9 o'clock. It's 9:04 right now, and I'm waiting for a few more people to join, but it's coming a time soon where we won't be waiting on people. We're just going to start at 9 o'clock on time because, we respect the time to be on time. We got to respect everybody else. And they just got to respect the people that are getting on late. If they forget, and that's on them. But, we giving out good information, valuable information. Some of you all are taking action, and it feels great when we hear people literally said they paid money for other courses, and just for talking to us in like 5 minutes, it's longer than 5 minutes. That's a really short time, but from talking to us in let's say a day's time, you learn more from us than you learn from all the courses you paid $40,000 and $50,000 and $60,000 for. That's rewarding. Then you have other people on the other hand that has been playing real estate, learning as much as they can, thinking that they know something, and then all of a sudden, they got on this call a couple of times and they start taking action, and they actually now talking to customers, talking to clients, having more of opportunity to learn and really what this is all about. So that pleases both of us, and I can honestly say that that's the one thing that me and Joe share, the joy that folks take action gives to us. So I would definitely say that. The time is 9:05. Again, whomever come on later, come on. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I know I sent out a couple emails. I did try and time the emails out to be like around about lunchtime, afternoon time, and right for the call. I did not send all the text messages out that I usually send out because my time is getting valuable and it getting short, and I just really ain't gonna be able to do all that stuff. So I probably set a standard that I can't keep going, but hey, it was something to get initiative started. Tonight is a little different. Nothing formal. I will say that, oh, wow. I'm looking up at this camera. I'm looking down at this. Okay, I see that. I see me on YouTube talking. But let me admit this person. So nothing really formal. This is really more conversational, more about, I had something prepared. Joe told me to hold off. He would like me to do something a little different tonight and give everybody opportunity that has been taking action to tell you about some of the stuff I was letting you know about. Some people decided to take action, and we would like those people to kind of share some of their stories, some of their success, and move forward from there. And we keep on moving with it. Guys, honestly, we don't have all the things in place that millionaire, teams have, corporation teams have, and all that stuff. And honestly, frankly, we're not trying right now to be like that. We started off with just initiative to, bottom line, just, hey, help other people. All right, to help other people get started. That's it. That was the initiative. For those who don't know, who's on a call that haven't heard me say this before, I'm Terrence. I'm Terrence Williams. I'm a PE teacher, a coach, right? A winning basketball coach, not just a coach, but a winning basketball coach. I'm certified to be a principal, right? I'm a certified principal. I'm an active serving military serviceman, right? Part of several organizations. So why am I saying all this? Because I like to help others. I like to be there for others, and I get pleasure out of someone else achieving more out of whatever they're doing, right? So with that background, I kind of like, when COVID-19 hit, the stimulus hit, and folks was getting their money and they was going to the freaking store buying Xbox and PlayStations and TVs and all this other electronics that served them no purpose. So that's when I started getting on the internet and started doing Facebook walking talks. I call it walking talks. I walked several miles, up to 20 miles, right? Up to 20 miles sometime. Well, one time. And then I walk up to 12 or 10 or 5 miles, and I just give motivational speeches while I walk about life, about work, about people, about things, about real estate, about insurance, about taxes, about mortgages, about all that stuff, right? I just start rambling off all the knowledge in my head just to try and motivate people to do something positive and give some positivity on the internet, right? After that, Joe already knew about what I wanted to do because me and him shared our story about what's our future state. And this is one of the future state. I want to start a YouTube channel. I want to start a social media. I wanted to get out there and be the gurus of teaching real estate. Guys, I'm not certified in real estate. I did go to real estate school only for knowledge, right? Graduated in 2003, December 2003, all right, from college. And my mom was like, are you ready to leave already? Hey, I put a contract on a house in April and I closed in July. Graduated in December 2003, got a job and looked for a house, right? I don't need to stay with you, Mom. I don't need to stay with your dad. I need to stay by myself. I'm a grown man, I need to do grown man stuff, right? But when I went out there and bought that first house, I made sure I had equity. I made sure I found for sale by owner. And I made sure that I stayed in a neighborhood that was nice. That's it. The house was worth I want to say 110. I paid 80,000. right? With VA. So that's zero money down as a 20, I think I was 24 years old, whatever. A 24-year-old made a decision to graduate from college, go buy a house with equity, did my homework from a for sale by owner with VA assistance, zero money down, right? Right now, I got that house rented out. I stayed in the house for several years, moved out, did a rent to own on a house, and got the house rented out right now. And I moved in with my mom for a few minutes. Nope. I moved in with my mom over the weekends. I was active duty with the military, and I stayed in a freaking RV. I went and bought a $20,000 RV, put it on some land, and I stayed in the RV. $256 a month for that RV. That's all I had to pay. The military pay you a housing allowance of $1,800 or $2,000 or whatever you living at, different numbers. $256 a month. I stayed in a brand new RV that was very nice and still very nice. All right. It's just sitting in my mama yard right now because I'm not doing anything with it. But that was, I stayed until I can make money. Right. And then not only that, I bought that RV because I had a mentoring group for boys, right? From 9 to 18 years old kids. And when we went to college football games, I didn't want them to have to find somewhere to use the restroom. I didn't want them to have to find somewhere to hang out. If it get hot outside, I wanted them to hang out in something. So I bought the RV with the purpose of, as I go on those games and those places, the kids can use that RV. Giving back, thinking ahead, right? That's just me, right? Don't expect everybody else to be like that. So me and Joe, long story short, me and Joe linked up about 2017, I want to say, from a mutual friend. Joe was doing business with him. He was borrowing his money, private money lending, to flip houses, right? He was borrowing his money to flip houses. And then he wanted to link me with me, and he wanted me to do the same thing, give Joe money to flip houses. I like, Joe, I'm not giving you my money to flip no house. I need my money to buy my houses and keep going. But me and you, since we like each other and we have come and goes, let's just chit chat. Let's talk. Let's learn more about each other, right? So after we learned more about each other, I gave him some spills. I said, why are you flipping houses? What are you doing? Brother, you're throwing your money away. Every time you flip a house, you're giving 20% of your money to Uncle Sam. Why? Just why? Keep the house for at least a minimum of 2 years, your per capita go down, then do a rent to own, lease option, do whatever you want to do. I don't care, but stop throwing your money away. Now Joe went crazy. He started doing what I'm doing. I said do. He went crazy, right? Now he's up to like 80 something properties in like 2 years after that, right? Because he started keeping the money and having the cash flow. And he just listened to one thing I said, stop flipping and stop doing that. Then he listened to another thing I said, stop making every house super sexy and changing every color up in every house. Why are you doing that? Why are you changing the paint job from this house to that house to that house to that house? Go out there, buy one basic paint for the walls, one basic paint for the trim, buy one basic paint for the outside, whatever, and use the same color because you're not buying a house in the same neighborhood everywhere. Wow, I just saved you time and money, right? He listened to it. So why am I telling you this? I'm sharing this with everybody right now because Joe, even though he have knowledge and everything, he's still coachable. Even though he makes way more money in real estate than me, he still listens to somebody that don't make as much money as him. And then the other part is Joe take action. Joe take action. What do LT do? He give advice. He motivate. He inspire. He push. He give you the lay of the land. He guides you. That's what I do. I'm a school teacher. Those who don't do, they teach. Bottom line, it's a fact, right? So I wanted to share that with you all before we start tonight. That actually killed a little bit more time for more people to get on. Hopefully a lot of people will be able to catch this later on YouTube. Jamila is in the house. Jamila is in the house. Mr. Jerry, I see your name in the house. And I don't know if Nate made it yet. Maybe he out there wholesaling something right now. But bottom line, guys, we have a couple success stories. I got T on the phone as well. T, you know what, Jamila? I'm going to hold off and let T go first because T going to go to sleep soon. And I don't want T to go to sleep. All right. That's one of my success stories. I got a couple of them, but T, are you ready just to tell a little bit, just a little bit, not all your business, not all your stuff, because I know how you are. Hey, tell them what you want them to know and then we'll go from there.
And so, absolutely, I am here. Hello, people. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So, all of 2020, basically, I was getting the guidance about things that I needed to do. It was very heavy on my spirit. However, I wasn't necessarily sure, but I will tell you this: in 2021, we definitely stepped out and we started doing it. I have formed my initial LLC, working towards building the credit for my business and getting into collab with all of these different companies and everything else. And I'm definitely very excited about the future. I was initially stressed out about the idea. I pretty much looked at it as a lot of work, but I will tell you this. If you are on these calls every Monday night, take your notes. I dedicated a notebook just for these Monday calls. I wrote down absolutely everything that I could as fast as my hands and my wrists would allow me to. LT, you actually spoke about Jamila coming in. Like, I learned so much from her, and she is all the way in Trinidad. Like, this is definitely one of the positive spaces to be in. If real estate and investing is what you want to do, the information is here. It is here. Thank you,
Thank you.
LT. I appreciate the time.
Hold on, tell them
Um,
when. I got a couple questions. I'm trying to rush off. Hey, when did you meet me?
I initially met you in 2019, actually.
Briefly.
2019, yeah, it was very briefly. So I had a passion for real estate, and I'll tell you guys why. I had a passion for real estate because of the fact that each time I went to the South and I visited home, I was watching the individuals in the neighborhood that helped raise me and help mold me. And it just seems like their properties were going to crap. It's like, what's going on? I know this person had 4 kids. I know this person had 7 kids. I know this lady. She was the Sunday school teacher, and the neighborhood was just going down. And as I looked at that and I saw that my mom and dad's property was one of three that was holding the block together. I don't know. I woke up one morning and I was like, you know what? I could own this whole block. I could legitimately own this whole block with no problem. I know these people, the parents, I know their kids. They've moved to Georgia, they've moved to Tennessee, they have moved to Florida. They're chasing all their dreams, which there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, if your parents have already started pretty much a legacy, we own something. They own their homes. Why, as I went through this process, I'm starting to find out that, okay, the eldest son took out a loan and then he moved to Florida and it's now in foreclosure. I'm like, what's going on? But at the end of the day, I reached out. I used my mom and my dad. I'm like, hey, what happened to, Miss Hendricks? What happened to Mr. Watkins? What happened to, these people? And that's how it came to be. And so this year, January, a lot of people say, oh, I'm not doing the New Year's resolution. It wasn't necessarily New Year's resolution, but I woke up and I was like, what exactly am I waiting on? And I'm now in April, and I can honestly say that I own 4 properties, and it's April. So talk to your people, network, use this information. Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I mean, you see when she said for profit, I just make it smile. I mean, like, look, it is what it is. T, I appreciate that. I know that that's not something you normally want to share, nothing you want to put out there, nothing you want to talk about. You like to just take care of business. I know your personality because we talk, and I understand your goals, but I appreciate you coming out your shell for tonight to just do that. And I do graciously thank you for that, right? Appreciate that.
Thank you.
All right. So next we have Miss Jamila. It's your time.
Good night, everybody. Welcome to the call. Thank you, T. Sometimes you give information, you really don't know who's picking up, who's not picking up, who's paying attention, who's taking notes, but you have a really good point. I would advise everybody on the call to get a notebook and start taking notes. If you haven't been taking notes before, it's never too late to learn, and it's definitely never too late to start. I started last year, March, the end of March. Some of you know, some of you don't know, I am in Trinidad and Tobago. I'm not in the States right now. And our country has been locked down from March of last year, and our borders are still closed. So I decided, let me start getting into this real estate investing because I'm laid off, I'm not working, and I have a lot of free time. So, I would stay up late, stay up until 3, 4 o'clock, watching YouTube videos, trying to get as much information as possible, reading things here and there from other groups. So, once I became so saturated with so much information, I just, like T said, you just go and get action. What is stopping you from actually going ahead and getting action? A lot of people think that you cannot do this if you're not in the market, that you're gonna start your property or you're gonna start vetting leads or looking for leads. So I am living testimony. It works. You can do this virtually. You can do this outside the United States. You do not have to see the property physically in person. You do not have to have met the seller in person. I've never met my seller. I've never met my cash buyer. I've never gone to the property. I've never even been to Michigan. I have never visited the state of Michigan ever. So when I started, I would, take action in the sense that you try to be a part of everything. You hear people talking about prop stream, you hear people talking about you can get leads from here, you can get leads from there, start cold calling. I tried everything, every single software possible. And this month I was able to close my first deal after 12 months for $31,000. So some of you know that I work with Joe. Typically, we're partners. Joe and I met each other through one of his friends who put him on to me. I had an ad posted on Facebook for a property I was trying to do a sub 2 on. And then once we spoke on the phone, it was like glue. We just stuck together after that. I had a lot of information. I had a lot of knowledge. So I wasn't coming to him as a rookie, as a new person who didn't know anything and just depending on him to feed me or spoon feed me and take me under his wing and teach me and show me everything. So he liked the fact that I was ambitious and I was willing to learn and willing to, practice and experiment and try new things. So we made a great partnership. So working with Joe over the last 12 months, hand in hand, has definitely helped me to skyrocket as far as being able to try new things and experiment with things that I might have taken in a course or a class or things that I've heard other people talk about. And we work very well together. We talk to each other every day. We share information. There's some things that I've been able to teach Joe. There's some things he's been able to teach me that I didn't know, and we just go hand in hand. So in this particular case, I would say the sky is the limit. Some people close their deal in 30 days. Some people close their first deal in 60 days. Some people, it takes them 6 months and then they get discouraged and they're like, nah, this is not for me. I can't do it. So take motivation from me. It took me 12 months, but that 31K was absolutely worth it. I would do it all over again if I had to. So now I set a limit for myself. I want all my deals to be 5 digits. Some people, they start off and they're like, oh, my first deal was only 10K or my first deal was only 5K. This particular seller I got from an SMS campaign. Some of you know what SMS campaign is. Some of you don't. It wasn't a cold call, just regular SMS campaign. And he did show interest. He wanted to get rid of the property. He wasn't super motivated, but he was easy to talk to. And that's all that I needed. So we talked about, what's the current condition of the property, what kind of repairs it might need. Do you have any pictures? Can you send me some pictures? What's your situation? And I didn't find out until afterwards that he was going through a divorce, but he came from a high equity list. So sometimes you get better leads when you stack situations. You may stack a probate with a water shutoff list or an absentee owner with probate or different things. You can stack different motivations. So this particular seller came from a high equity list, regular SMS campaign, and he showed interest in selling the property. He already had a price that he wanted to get for his property. and he was not willing to negotiate his price down, which was okay. As long as, you know, the value of the home left enough meat on the bone for me to make a profit and my end buyer to also make a profit. That's all we need. So I didn't try to talk him down too much off of his price. He made it very clear, this is my price, take it or leave it. He was very cooperative. And even if he wasn't cooperative in sending me pictures, I think I've shared on a couple of different calls, there are ways to get pictures virtually. If you don't have boots on the ground, there are companies that do nothing but take real estate pictures for you. They will charge you 20, 30 bucks and give you high quality, high end 20 to 30 photos of the interior and exterior of the property. And they will include all the defects, the leaks, the faults, anything that's wrong with the home. They will include those in your picture. Sometimes you ask a seller to take pictures for you and they will leave out parts of the home that need to be repaired on purpose. Sometimes they will send you pictures and the house looks in pretty good moving condition. And those pictures might have been taken 5 years ago or before the tenants moved in. You never know. So it's always a good idea to get a third party to take your photos for you. So once you have your seller who's motivated, once you get your property under contract, and I did my contract also virtually through PandaDoc. Once you get that sorted, you know, the next step is to get it onto the title company. And this is to kind of solidify the contract between you and the seller. Then I had a realtor who would have been my quote unquote escort to show my property to my end buyer. Now, the end buyer, I found him 6 months ago when I was trying to market other properties to other cash buyers. And I just kept my cash buyers list. I never got rid of my cash buyers list. And this just goes to show, I tried to market another property to him and he was not interested in that property. He had a particular zip code that he liked to shop for properties in and a particular place where he liked to find property. So he said, I'm not interested in this one, but if you come up with anything in the future that may be in this area, square foot, 3 bed, 2 bath, 1 bed, 2 bath, whatever, in this particular zip code, I would be happy to take a look at it. And I would be happy to pay you even up to close to retail, because these are the types of rental properties that I look for. So it made it a lot easier for me because now I have quote unquote a grocery list. I know exactly what my cash buyer is looking for. So that makes it easier for me to find for him what he's looking for. Sometimes we find general properties and we think we're going to just send out a text blast to all our cash buyers and see which one or 2 or 3 or 4 is interested. But if you find a real cash buyer, and you can always verify whether or not your cash buyer is a real cash buyer by looking up properties either on the county tax assessor's website that they've purchased, or you can use PropStream. And I vetted my buyer. I did not post this property on Facebook. Facebook has a lot of daisy chain wholesalers who are looking to steal deals from you, who are looking to contact the sellers behind your back. So I did not post my property on Facebook at all. So I knew this guy was a cash buyer because I vetted him. I checked out some other properties that he had purchased previously prior. So I immediately sent the property over to him. He said, I want to look at it Monday. This was Friday. I said, okay, sure. I got a real estate agent. I spoke to him first. I said, hey, I have someone that wants to take a look at a property. He's never been there before. Would you be able to escort him to the property? I just want you to be the mediator between the seller and the buyer so that they're not discussing the price and so that there's not anything that we don't want coming up in a conversation. All you're going to do is take him to the property. He needs to do a walkthrough. He's free to bring his contractor if he needs to. And he was happy to do it. Most realtors will charge you $50 to $100 to do this. Now, if you're able to find boots on the ground or you have somebody that you know in the state that's able to do it for you, fine. You can also find boots on the ground on Facebook or Craigslist, but you have to vet these people first. You can't just jump up at the first person who says, oh, hey, I'll do the showing for you or I'll do the viewing for you. So I went with the real estate agent. Real estate agent is a lot less likely to do something like that because they're more professional. So he did the showing for me. He took the cash buyer to the property. Cash buyer brought his contractor. 5:30, they arrived at the property. By 5:35, the cash buyer sent me an email. I will take the property for X amount of dollars, which was $31,000 above what the seller had asked me for. I sent him back an email, deal done. And that was it. We signed the paperwork, went through title, we closed on it. So any one of you can absolutely do this. I've never met the buyer. I've never met the seller.
Have you ever met Joe?
I have never met Joe. Joe and I have been working together for 12 months. I have never met Joe in the flesh. I've never seen him in person.
Have you ever met me?
I've never met LT, but we have such a close relationship. We are like family. Joe calls me his sis. I can call Joe at any time of day or night, and we are working on deals. We're talking real estate. We're talking business. That's how close of a network that we have formed. And that's how close you need to be with the people who are going to be working with you, the people who are going to be teaching you, the people who are going to be training you. And you need to be teachable and coachable.
And what was Joe main as you got experience? Like you said, you had a little experience dealing with Joe when you first started talking to Joe. But as you gain experience, what Joe encouraged you to do? To all the people that are calling you.
As I gained experience, Joe encouraged me to start consultation. So he would encourage me, you need to start charging people for your information because you've learned so much. You need to start doing Zoom calls, weekly Zoom calls. You need to start having coaching sessions.
Yeah. And are you a realtor?
I'm not a realtor. I do not have a license. I'm not a realtor.
Have you ever worked in the real estate business before?
Nope. I am in the oil and gas field, geology. That's my profession. So
in 12 months, you sound like you can articulate, like you can just, like you've been doing this forever. I mean, you really sound very professional. You know about all these different apps. You know about all these different things. I never knew that you can go on Craigslist and Facebook and find people to go and show a property for you or take pictures for you. I don't even know that. So I'm saying that to say that with, networking, with talking to other people, with coaching other people. I mean, did you learn it on a CD? Did you learn it on YouTube, or did you learn it through networking? I learned it through networking. I would try to get with people who knew the business, people who were already doing it, people who were more experienced than me, people like Joe, people like LT, and try to get as close to them as possible so that they would take me under their wing and I would be the student while they're teaching me. But you came with something. You came with knowledge still. Like I said, I just learned from you. I just gleaned something from you just from talking right there. So yes. So I definitely did my own homework. I never sat down and waited for Joe to take my hand and say, oh, this is the way you do this, or this is the way you do that. If I had a question, I would try to go get the information myself and go look it up first. And if I absolutely couldn't find anybody or anything on Google or YouTube or any other place that had the information, then I would come and say, hey, I tried to find so-and-so and so information, but I couldn't find it. Do you know anything about this? No teacher wants a lazy student. No teacher wants somebody who's going to come to them not knowing anything and isn't willing to learn or put in the work to get the information. I've taken courses and classes and studied and tried to read as much as I can, watch as many videos as I can, and try to keep as low of a budget as possible. Because remember, I have been out of a job for 12 months. So I had to make do with all the free information. This Zoom call is free. Some people charge for their webinars. And LT and Joe give this information weekly, every Monday night at no charge. And how much you pay for that one course? You did take one course. I took one course for $297. That was a sub 2 course. Then I took another course for like $100. But there was so much content and so much information that, if you take a class or you pay for something and then you don't apply the information, it's just as good as you not taking the course at all. Well, I beg to differ on that one, only because whenever you did meet up with Joe and actually link up with Joe and myself, you took more action because you had a little bit of a background. So you bought the information, you got a little knowledge, you had you had no action, so you weren't making no money, but you did have something to go off of. So I like to buy information. That's why I bought so much training.
Correct. And that I was the same way. Even another course came out. Okay, I'm going to go pay for that. Another course came out. I go subscribe for that. I took subject to, lease option, seller finance course, Facebook ads course. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. So by the time I came to Joe, I had so much information already that he didn't have to, okay, well, now I have to start over from scratch and teach you every single little thing. It was more like we're helping each other and we're able to help each other build and grow and be a network and be a team.
Yeah. And you feel like you work for him?
Nope, I do not.
Because the key word you said was partner. We partnered up together and we made things happen, right?
That's right.
Let me see what other question I want to ask. You didn't tell me about the rental property.
Okay, so that was my first wholesale deal. I am now also working on closing my first rental property, which also came from Joe. So sometimes Joe gets properties he comes across that, he has so much on his plate. And this particular one he came across and the sellers were very difficult people to deal with. He found this property 10 months ago and I asked him, I said, okay, if you're done, can I take these crumbs here and see what I can do to make something happen? And he said, sure, by all means, go ahead. It's all yours. And he gave me free reign to go ahead and, close the deal. This particular property was a pre-foreclosure. So it's not your average wholesale deal. There was no equity in the house. So I had to turn this one into something else and then take on a loan modification with the bank and apply for it and so on and so forth. And I already have a tenant moved into the property who's happy to pay rent. So this property is going to be a cash flowing property for me. It's going to be my first one. And I plan on doing many, many, many more before the year is out.
Where you at now?
I'm in Trinidad and Tobago specifically, the smaller island.
So you in Trinidad and you took a deal from someone else, Joe, and he had it on his hand and he gave it away to you. And after you took the deal, you went and worked the foreclosure, brought it back up, did whatever you had to do to get it right so that you can have it under your name, under your business, whatever. And you found a tenant and you're in Trinidad. You in Trinidad and you found a tenant for a house.
Absolutely. And I have never met the tenant. Yes.
Wow. So what's the excuse for a person living right there in the state, in a city, and they can't find a tenant? And they're gonna tear your house up, and these folks is gonna do this, and these folks gonna do that, and wow. Seriously, you're in Trinidad? Wow. All right, I'm done, son. Look, wow, guys, if you're on this call and you don't have a house right now, I mean, I know you have an interest for real estate. So that's why you're on the call, because you have an interest, right? You do know that this is an opportunity to make a lot of money in real estate. That's why you're on this call. You ain't on the call for no other reason. Not for me, not for Joe, not for anybody else, but because you know that this is an opportunity for you to win in life. You know this is an opportunity that most millionaires, billionaires is going to park their money in. I know you know that. If you didn't know that, now you know that, right? They're going to play the stocks. They're going to play other stuff. They're going to do other things, but they're going to park money into real estate. They're going to park it there because your money grows no matter what. No matter what, your money grows, right? No matter what, your money grows if you know what you're doing. Let's say that too. All right. Thank you, Jamila. I mean, if that didn't make you feel some type of way, Jamila then came on this thing and taught class. Jamila don't know stuff. Jamila is willing to work with people. And then Joe said, hey, slow yourself down. Stop working with all these people. Charge them. Stop just giving out free information. Charge them. Because what Jamila was doing was going to Joe with the situation. And Joe don't mind helping Jamila, but Joe ain't trying to help all these other people. He said, I will help you make money, but I'm not going to tell you to tell them something for them to go and get a good deal. I'm not going to do that. I love you. I don't have to love them. As a sister that he never met, that he never touched, that he never been in the same room with, because he loved people but he don't love people that want to leech off of him for his information, right? That's what he don't love. He don't love greedy people that just want stuff and don't want to do nothing. We're doing a free Monday class, and I promise you, you will get everything you need from these classes. I sat down personally. Joe gave me 18 topics. I did the rest of them. I'm up to like 58 topics. Like 58 topics, because how many weeks it is in a year? 52. If you overplan, you got enough to plan for, right? And not to include PPP, not to include EDIL, not to include the insurance class that Miss Cynthia Scott gave, not to include the business credit class that 2 people gave, right? Holmes gave and Jones gave, right? So not to include things that you may want to teach. SL will be teaching soon about something. I don't want to say what it is. I'm not going to knock the cat out the hat, but we're trying to teach entrepreneurship. We're trying to teach people how to get started. We don't care about where you get started. You can get started whomever you want to get started, but we just want to right now show you that we have something for you if you listen and if you're coachable. And if the most important part, you take action. You take action. You take action. T just told you she took action based off of just minimal guidance I gave her. She do call me and ask more questions. I give her minimum guidance, because guess what? Every state is different when it comes to opening an LLC. Every state is different when it comes to contracting laws. Every state is different when it comes to rental laws. Every state is different when it comes to different stuff. I can't tell you what every state can, because I'm not a real estate agent, but I can tell you from my experience and from all the hundreds of books I've listened to and read, here's what I got for you. And here's what you can do. Or here's your possibilities, right? And that's what I do. I lay out possibilities. You go ahead and make the best of it. Boom, right? Coach, mentor, and that's it. Not do it for you. We got somebody else on the call tonight. Brother Nate. Jerry, I know you're on the call. I'm gonna come to you last because you got the $1 million answer to some things. Jamila, not the skirt past 31K. 31K. Some people make 31K in 1 year. You made, it took you 12 months to make 31K. You made somebody whole salary for a whole year, or they paycheck, shall I say. Hopefully they salary ain't no 31K. Hopefully that's just them getting paid each, paid monthly, weekly, whatever, or hourly. All right, so Nate, my new, I ain't gonna say that. Nate, how you doing, Nate?
I'm doing good, man. How are you?
Man, look, I don't know what Joe shared with you, man. I ain't gonna say what I was gonna say, but look, Joe said you like his little brother. I told him you're more different than that for me. He told you yet?
Nah, he has it. He hiding it from me.
Well, nah, that's why he want to play basketball against you, man. That's why he say he want to play. He said, that's my little brother. But I told him I look at you like a little son, man. I gotta tell you, man. I said, nah, man, I'm gonna take him on like he my little young buck son or something, I said, man, that dude right there. Guys, let me tell you about Nate. When I tell you that I am so impressed with a young man that's I'll let him tell your age. I am so impressed with him. It's ridiculous, right? I have a 21-year-old, so I can say he's my son, right? This guy right here reminds me of a mini me. This young man right here met us last week for the first time ever, got on a call and started talking like he was like he knew what was going on, right? I didn't know Nate. Nate just started talking. I'm like, whoa, boom, boom, boom. Straight response, right? After that, we say we're gonna meet up. We met up. Nate worked a full-time job all day. Nate got off work, and then Nate met up with us and hung out with us for a few more hours. After Nate hung out with us, Nate got up the next morning at 5, I guess, in the morning and met with Joe, because I was asleep, around about 6:30ish, all right? He met with him about 6 o'clock, 6:30, whatever. They called me, Joe called me, my phone, say, man, we on the porch, we on the patio. I came out there, got ready, got dressed, brushed my teeth, all that stuff, and came out there. I didn't know, right? Wow. This guy right here stayed out with us till around about, it was late, it was about 10 something. Got the next morning after working a full day, hanged out with us this evening, and then that evening, got the next morning and was there to meet Joe about 6 o'clock in the morning. That's how serious he is, right? We got together, we sat on the porch. He's seen both two guys. He'll tell y'all that for what you see us do. I'm just helping you frame some of the stuff. What he saw, what we did first thing in the morning, the first thing we did after we woke up. He saw the whole day we did something, and he saw the evening how we ended it, right? So Nate, I think that's a good enough introduction to tell you that I'm proud of you, man. I'm proud of you for real.
I appreciate
But
it,
look,
man.
it's your flow now, man. I'm shutting up.
All right. Good night, everybody. I do introduce myself. My name is Nathaniel Berkeley. When I first met Joe and LT, it was crazy, yo. I just finished work. I was like, I gotta meet these guys. Like, gotta meet them. I can't waste no time. I make sure I clocked out 4 on the dot. I told them I gotta leave, guys. I can't stay no longer. My whole work was like, man, for real, like I got something important to do. So first it was Joe. LT hasn't came. LT was coming Thursday. So I met Joe. We went to this place called Scoops and Brew, which is like a milkshake smoothie spot. And Joe wasn't interested in drinking, but Joe had his, he made time and he came and we talked. And a couple of days later, LT came and they were heading Home Depot to grab some things because we decided that we wanted to put up some We Buy Houses signs around the area. And I put up a Home Depot and LT hops out the car and LT is just filled with energy. You guys won't believe it. Like LT has that energy that you would cling on to. Like he is willing to teach you, give you advice. I didn't ask LT for no advice. Like LT just gives it to you like nothing. Once he see the problem, he has the answer. He got the solution for it. Easy. So the whole time we're in Home Depot, he's nothing but dropping nuggets while Joe here looking for a stapler gun. So it's like, it was, it was worth it, yo. Like, and the following day, a couple of hours later, we went to go grab some lunch. And then we still talk, and they both had no problem with giving me information. They was like, it was out of their hearts, out of their own love. Like, it don't matter, we're gonna give you what you need, or we got no problem giving it to you, bro. So and then the next day, it was hang out the science day. So I was told it was supposedly 5:30 in the morning. I got no problem waking up 5:30 in the morning. I was like, okay, let's in the morning. I used to wake up 4 o'clock to do what I gotta do. And then Joe bust me. Oh no, never mind. We're gonna go 6 a.m. I'm like, all right. I knew you would have did at 5:30. So I woke up 5 o'clock and I live west. I live far, far west at the other end of the island. And where we were supposed to meet was in the middle of the island. So I had to wake up early so I could make sure I could hit that 6 o'clock time. So I'm there for 5:50, 5:40, and Joe tells me he just woke up. I'm like, wait, what? He's like, yeah, bro, I just got up. I'll be there in a couple minutes. So I was like, okay, I got up, I'm waiting. It's okay, cool. I chill, relax in the car. And they both told me like they were working until like 2 a.m. in the morning. LT was working until 2 a.m. in the morning. Well, Joe was like a couple hours behind, but they're serious about what they do. They really are serious about what they do. So Joe comes to me, we go to the condo, and he tells me LT is still asleep. But he's like, oh, LT I ain't about this life. He ain't ready for this. He wants to sleep. And all right, Joe. So Joe calls up, wakes up LT, on the phone, like, come on, it's time to go. We got business to do, LT. Time to wake up. And I'm here like, wow, I know I can't do it to my mom, my sister. I get beat. So LT comes out, no hesitation. He goes straight to work. Me and Joe already trying to see, because St. Thomas is a different market, so we're trying to see how we could get this down, because some certain softwares in the States won't work in a little island like what I'm in right now at the moment, and Joe is. So we're trying to find other alternate routes on how to find buyers, how to find the numbers of these sellers, so we can establish that business front one time. So it's easy and we don't know A to Z. So then throughout that day, we started hanging up signs. It was nothing but jokes. At the end of the day, even though they still talk business, these two dudes, I'm telling you, my whole cheeks was red. Like everything was hurting me at the end of the day because these guys joke so much. Like every second. Look at LT right now. He knows it's true. He knows it's true. Every second is jokes, 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 non-stop. But at the same time, they're still dropping nuggets. So we're going from one point of the island to the other point of the island. We're dropping signs, and it was time to take a break. So Joe went to this beach a couple of days ago called Vessa Beach. It's a beautiful beach. Whenever you guys ever do decide to come St. Thomas, go and look at that beach. That's an amazing beach. So we choose to stop there, and if y'all want to know what the definition of tourist is, LT and Joe was that. Pictures non-stop every second. You will, if you go in their phone cameras, if you go in their camera right now, all you see is pictures, 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 pictures. There's nothing wrong, but they took in the scenery. They're like, I cannot pass up on this. They took every inch of the beach. They enjoy themselves. That's what I like to see. I like, they balance workflow, their personal life, and enjoying it at the same time. They don't want to overwork, but they still had time to put work aside and still enjoy the scenery of the island, which is completely amazing. So if you ever do want to see those pictures, you guys can ask LT. You won't see the smile on his face when he steps his foot in the water and he's like, "Ooh, it's cold. It's cold. Yeah, it's cold." And then after a while, we went driving for dollars. We went around and then we were like, okay, well, we used Land Glide and we got a couple properties, abandoned properties. Just to let you guys know, St. Thomas 2 years ago went through a two category 5 hurricanes. I experienced it and it was really crazy. It was to the point where my whole room was flooded, water to my ankles. I thought it was cool at first, the wind. I got videos, the wind, that even coconut trees was bending in half to the point where I started getting scared. Like, whoa. my tree was straight tall, but now if you look at my trees, like it changed its structure. So during that, when I came out, there's nothing but abandoned, destroyed houses. And during that time, the governor and the government offered free flights to, Florida, Virginia, and Alaska. Free flights to get off the island so you could go and redo your own life. A lot of people went. There's a lot of abandoned houses on this island. So that's how I got into real estate, remembering wait, we went to 2 Cat 5s, and I know there's an abandoned house around this area. And there are so many everywhere. Everywhere we go, I'm not kidding. On the left to the right side of the road, there will be an abandoned, destroyed house. And that's the opportunity right there, easy to wholesale. So we're driving for dollars. We're enjoying our time, jokes nonstop. Then I introduced them to this thing called pate. I forgot her name. She should know what it is. Pate is like, you can have beef, saltfish. I'll explain saltfish later. Saltfish, beef, corn, and it's like dough roll up into it, and you throw it in a fryer. And that sounds good. So we went to Megan's Bay, which is one of the top beaches on St. Thomas. And it should be one of the top beaches in the world, because I already said this in the last meeting. It was a scene from Twilight Zone. They shoot a scene on that beach. So we went to that beach and then we ran across a food van truck. So they had pates. They were so happy. I'm like, pates are normal for me, but for them, they were like, yes, something local. LT got pictures of it. He didn't hesitate. He made sure he took pictures of it. So we asked for simple, 2 beef, 1 chicken. Well, they accidentally mixed it up. They gave me and Joe the 2 chicken. Well, LT wanted 1 chicken, but we wanted 2 beef. But they gave LT 1 beef and they gave us 2 chicken. So we were like, it was so good for Joe. Joe didn't start realize it was chicken. Joe finished that thing easy. He's like, dang, this wasn't beef. Like yesterday was chicken. He's like that junk was so good. You let us know it was beef. So
Hey man, look, I don't need you telling folks too much
there
about
he is.
business.
There he is.
Hey, I don't need you telling folks too much about business now. Hey, I don't need folks knowing I'm a fast eater.
So we're enjoying ourselves, and they killed it. I'm here like, I'm used to it. They hopped in my case for not eating it quick. Like, oh, you're not gonna eat it quick, but they enjoyed it. That's what I like to see. People trying new things. I enjoyed seeing them enjoy it. So after that, we went again driving for dollars. But before that, we was at the beach in Megan's Bay. We took another break, and that beach is the best. It was the best. They enjoyed that right there. It was calm, crystal clear water, and it just relaxed. Even John was knocked out on the table. He was getting sleepy. He's like, I could sleep all day. And I was to the fact was I was about to say the same thing. I didn't want to look like a punk. I'd be like, man, I'm tired. I want to sleep. It's to the point where it's so calm and peaceful. You could sit there and you could just sleep. Like when we went to the beach, there's so much people sunbathing and knocked out on the sand to the point where that their back is red. They wake up, they couldn't stop turning on their back. They have to stand up an awkward way to avoid rolling on their backs. So that was a good little scenery. That was a good vibe that we did. That was really nice. I recommend if you ever do come to St. Thomas, go to Megan's Bay. Even though you got to pay, it's worth it still.
Hey Nate, tell them about your deal, man. Tell them about what happened with your deal.
Of course. I have a couple of VAs working for me right now. They will find so they will find callers, they will find sellers, they will find motivated sellers for me. And right now it had a seller name. Well, I won't say the name, but they were interested. I called them one night, and no, I didn't call them. I texted them a good time to schedule an appointment to come look at the property. It's an amazing 2-bedroom, 950 square feet. What's so cool about it, me and Joe is going to meet that same seller tomorrow, but I didn't had no idea I would have been able to talk to the seller if it wasn't for Joe. But they called me and I was like, man, this was so unnoticed. I wasn't ready for it. And then the seller got iffy about it. He's like, you know what? Never mind. And he hangs up. I was like, what? Man, my first no. I was so excited. My first no. There you go. But I was like, and I told LT and I told Joe what happened. They're like, what, for real? So they sent me all the things that could, help me be better and help me, what to say to the seller, how to say, and what to look for at whatever you do go to the property. LT sent me all the stuff. And then Joe told me what to say. It's like a balance that helped me. So then I think yesterday I went out with Joe just to, hang and ask a couple of questions. And I brought it up again. And he gave me this certain thing to say. And I was kind of nervous. Like, I don't know, because I told them this and that. He's like, send it, bro. Just send it. Just send it. Don't worry. Just send it. So I sent it. And then they told me, I would love to schedule a meeting with you. Just call this number tomorrow and let me know. So I was like, whoa. I'm here thinking that they will say, why are you texting me? I thought I told you I'm not interested. So I was like, that changed my mindset, because where I live, there's a lot of hothead people. So once you tell them this and they tell you this, you don't want to bring it back up again, because they will get instantly mad. So I'm really indoctrinated into believing, no, okay, well, he said no, I'm not going to bring it up again, because I don't want him to go off on me or cuss me or block me or make it a big scene. A lot of people do that down here, So this afternoon or this morning, I called and they say, yeah, no problem. Just let me know your availability. I asked them, okay, well, cool, tomorrow at this time. And they say, no problem, Nate, we could do that. I was like, wow. Wow, that is really nice. And it's an amazing property for sale by owner on Zillow. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful view. So I appreciate Joe. Joe, you're the best. Thank you, LT. You guys are the best. You guys, please don't waste your time. These two are amazing, amazing people. So right now, tomorrow in the afternoon, me and Joe are gonna go meet the seller and look at the property, and hopefully that will be. Well, I mean, let me not doubt myself. That will be my first wholesale property right there, and then at the next meeting, I will come and tell you guys how it go.
So I'm gonna bring up two things. I'm gonna highlight two things. One, the most important thing, mindset, right? Mindset.
Yep.
How old are you?
18.
I mean, wait a minute, 18. Like when you graduated?
Like last year, a couple months ago, to be honest, like around less than 8 months, 9 months ago.
Not even a year ago, you graduated. You're 18 years old. You got on Facebook and whatever, what group, met up with Joe, got on a call last week, and now I'm calling you like a son to me, and he calling you like a brother to you.
Crazy, right?
We done hung out a whole day. How much money did you spend when you was with us? Y'all tell him.
I spent $0, you guys. That's honest truth.
Did you eat a lot?
Yeah, we were going crazy. They were going crazy. I was like, you guys, I'm on a budget and I really gotta,
Nobody asked you about your budget.
they got no problem, but they were like, don't worry, dude, we got this, So they were enjoying themselves and we were like, all right, cool. So it was an amazing time with you guys, to be honest.
No, man, no. You amazing person, dude. You amazing. I'm for real. Seriously, guys. And what was the first thing I did after I started talking to you? What the first thing you remember I did to you, besides giving you all them gems and just giving you information? What was the first thing I did to you? You remember?
Well, we were at Home Depot.
Yep.
And a couple things. It was LT asked me.
Yeah, go ahead.
LT, you asked me a question about what will be a good idea for what we're doing, what you guys are doing, and the way I articulate myself and I explain what would happen and what should happen. LT fixed his face to the point where he's like, "Huh? Like an 8-year-old telling me these things? Like I'm lost. Like I've dealt with so many 8-year-olds or 19-year-olds, and they're not like this one right here." So I was watching his face. I'm like, why he's making all these faces like he's surprised? Like, so he brought me to the side. He's like, yo, I'm surprised you the way you're forming your sentences or how you speak and how you explain, making the points. He's like, whoa, I'm really impressed. So that's what I remember.
Cool. That I want you to remember that, man, because I'm sure that everybody on this call remember the same thing. And one thing that these folks right here don't do is tell folks how special they are, how important they are, and how they should make a difference, right? So that's what I wanted to do for you, for sure, out the back when you was able to articulate. Next thing is, wanted to talk about mindset. Guys, he just told you that he live in an area, he know what his people like, he know what they want, he know how they act, but Joe said, do this. Joe said, stop, sin, cut, paste, sin. He was coachable. He took action. He did what the coach said do, the person said do, and the people said, wow, it worked. He know the people. He have his own thought pattern, but somebody that got more experience than him and more knowledge with him told him to do something, and he did it. And because of that, he's now going to be faced with going to a beautiful house that he didn't know what to do with, what to do next, but he called. I picked up Joe's phone. I got his email address. I sent him everything I had that can help them quickly. I didn't send him everything I had. I helped him quickly. The stuff I sent him was short, precise, to the point. Then Joe came and talked to him about the rest and gave him the other instructions.
Yep, that's it.
Now this 18-year-old, oh, hey, what advice did we give you at the dinner table?
It was so many, yo. It was so many.
Your future 5-year plan, 3 to 5 year plan.
I was just about to say that one right there. So there is, well, to tell you the truth, there aren't any brokerage on St. Thomas. So they told me here we go. Here's what to take over and dominate St. Thomas. You could still wholesale, but to be better and completely dominate the market, get your realtor license. And in 3 to 5 years, gain experience, open a brokerage, and you will completely dominate. You won't have no stress, no worries, and there you go. And I was like, I was told, by other people, you should get your realtor license. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just do wholesale. And I didn't really study no realtor license at all. But they told me, dude, they even to the point where me and Joe will go silent in the car, or we go silent. I don't know where they'll be like, dude, get your license, get your license. This is a good opportunity. Like this pop out of the blue. We go silent. We listen to music. I don't know where Joe turning the volume or everything goes quiet. Dude, look at these houses. Get your license as well. Get your license as well. So that tells me that I gotta get my license. So license 3 to 5 years, brokers. Be the first one in St. Thomas.
Yeah, guys, that's real. That's real talk. That's the type of love we provided for this young man. Thank you, man, so much for sharing. You don't have a problem sharing. T have a problem sharing. Jamila don't have a problem sharing, and you don't have a problem sharing, man. Thank you so much for that information. Guys, I know that it's late, but we got two other people, but we're gonna save another person for last. What I want to go to now is somebody had a question?
I got a question for Nate.
Go ahead.
Nate, you said you're from the west side. Are you from Bodo?
Yes.
Okay.
Are you from the islands too?
Yeah, St. Thomas.
You over there now?
Oh no, I'm not over there now.
Oh, okay. I think I remember you talking last week about it a little bit. Okay. Well, cool beans. Yeah, y'all can link up if you want to with him and everything. Like I said, he finna try and dominate. He got a team together for him right now.
I already said whenever I do visit the island, go home, then I'm gonna link up.
Yeah, there's no problem.
Yeah. Definitely. All right, now we're gonna pivot and got last but not least, Mr. Jerry. I have not talked to Jerry personally, but I think I know Jerry only because I talked to Joe so much that Joe told me a lot about Jerry. This is what Joe told me. Joe said that this one right here is the best. This one right here is a winner. This one right here, ain't no doubt, this guy is finna be a billionaire, right? He's got everything to take. He got everything to need. He knows how to talk to people, and that's the most important thing. And because he know how to talk to people, he know how to put people together that knows things that he don't know, and he know how to be quiet and then listen to those people. That's what I heard. So from that point, Jerry is on the call. Jerry have some good news stories, and Jerry want to share those. Mr. Jerry, the floor is yours.
Thanks, LD. Well, my name's Jerry. I have been. Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we hear you loud and clear.
All right. I just want to make sure I'm because I got my Bluetooth on. I want to make sure you guys could hear me. But I've officially started about February of this year. Real estate full time. I had an insurance brokerage, and the last 2 years I was full time selling insurance. And Joe and I met probably, I think it was around maybe last summer. And I was kind of intrigued with what he was doing in real estate. So through Facebook, we kind of chatted a little bit, talked. At that time, I was still doing full time with my insurance, and I was like, man, I want to get into this. And he was like, well, hey, man, you just got to get started. And so around about, I think October or so, I started really delving in and doing some stuff part time, kind of just looking at properties, and I would go driving for dollars, but it wasn't anything serious. I hadn't really committed. And so towards the end of this year, I said, you know what? I'm going all in the real estate this year and in 2021, and whatever happens, happen. So pretty much, unless it was referrals, I kind of put my insurance brokerage on hold, and that's my main source of income. So, I was a little nervous because I was like, okay, I got to be able to replace my income and get things rolling. And so took a little money I had saved. I said, you know what, we're just going to go for it. And Joe and I were talking a couple months ago. He was like, man, you doing this full time? I'm like, I'm doing this every day. And so long story short, I started off cold calling. People say, well, how'd you get started? Driving for dollars. I bought a list and I was cold calling. Driving for dollars I've talked to a few people, didn't ever get any deals on I made a few offers, but nothing accepted. My first deal that I actually got accepted, it was a property from a direct mail letter I had personally sent out. He called back and stated that, hey man, I'm interested in selling the property. I said, oh great, man. I was excited. Went to go look at the property, and I see why he was interested in selling it. It was falling apart, and so it was just so happened that that week, I think Joe was gonna be in town. I'm in Shreveport, by the way, Louisiana, and Joe was gonna be in town, and he was doing some things. He had called me to do something, and a house he was working on. I came to witness something. I said, hey man, he said, I appreciate it so much what I owe you. I said, I tell you what, just come over to this property with me and talk, kind of give me some of your insight. So we got over there, and he said, oh, that's the property? Oh man, leave that alone. Tell him to knock that down. So he said, and I was like, dang. So the kind of air went out myself. And I said, man, I thought I was gonna, he wanted to put on the contract and blah, blah, blah. He's like, man, tell that man knock that down. That's a waste of time. So anyway, long story short, I'm a little stubborn though, right? And I, start thinking about it and talking again. I talked to another guy that's been on here, Chevy, and Chevy was like, well, see if you can put it on the contract and see if we can flip it. So long story short, got on the contract. I mean, like I said, it was a dump. I mean, literally found somebody that was gonna pick it up finally. I mean, I wasn't gonna make much. I was gonna make like $500 off the deal, but I was excited because the experience was what I was trying to go after, and so that knowledge was worth more than $500. It was worth thousands to me, and so got it under contract. Ended up some stuff happened with the title. It wasn't quieted, and it was clouded, and so anyway. Long story short, the guy said, "Man, I'm just gonna leave it alone." So I was a little bummed, but I was like, "Okay, it's $500, no big deal." So I got the code, started cold calling. Talked to a guy and actually got a deal under wraps. The guy had started remodeling. He totally, he had said, you know what? I got too much going on. He owns about 6 or 7 businesses. And he said, I picked up his house, thought it was going to be a quick remodel, but the guy went in and gutted the house, right? So I was like, maybe this is his first one. And because when I talked to Joe, he was like, no, he didn't gut it, did it? I was like, yeah, he gutted the house. He was like, man, that house ain't worth nothing now. It's gutted, And so long story short, this was about a month or two later. When I talked to the guy, he said, yeah, I'm thinking about selling it, but I'm going to try to finish it up. A couple months later, which was around February, I talked to him again, and he said, man, yeah, I got my crew out here. I want to get rid of it. So I said, I want to come take a look at it. Went took a look at it. We talked about the price. We tried to lock it down. The ARV on the property was going to be around like $200,000, but he wanted about $125,000 for it. Yeah, and so we kind of talked a little bit. We ended up getting down. I think we got it to like $120,000, and I was thinking at the time I thought the ARV was going to be higher, but the location of where it was a rookie mistake. But I took it under contract. And I said, man, started getting ready to market it, getting all excited, thinking I'm finna move my first property, and no bites. Everybody was like, oh, no, that's too high. Nope, that's too high. Nope, that's too high. And Joe was like, yeah, well, that's too rich for my blood. I told you that, but you keep trying, see if you can get it lower. So anyway, after about a month going back and forth, finally, we got him down. I ended up finding a guy that was a realtor. So that was huge because a lot of the guys, they were $10,000, $15,000 off because they needed those fees for the realtor when they flipped it. So he was a realtor, which allowed him to have that cushion. And so we ended up working, getting it sold for about $110,000. And I'm gonna make about $4,000 on the deal. Now, again, same way I'm looking, it's definitely not going to change. $4,000 is not a whole lot of money, but the knowledge I gained and to be paid $4,000 was invaluable. Say it again.
That's a nice chunk of change, man. Don't be hating on the 4,000. You did good. You did good.
Well, appreciate that. I thank you. But I didn't get a 10, 20, 30, 31,000 or anything. Y'all should have put me before Jamila. All right. So I got the $4,000, and we got it on the escrow. Got it in escrow, got it on the contract, and we are closing on it Friday. I got a message, so I'll be going to pick up my first official check Friday. And all the while, I came across some other properties, all this cold calling. A guy was ready to sell, and he goes, yeah, I'm ready to sell that property. And I got like 7 other properties I want to sell. So I was like, well, I got 7 other properties we want to buy. So ended up, we started talking to him, got that deal, talked with Joe. Joe really walked me through that process. And we worked out a deal to where we're going to close on those. And probably in the next few weeks, Joe probably got a pretty good idea on that, but we should close on the next few weeks. But Joe ended up being my buyer, my cash buyer. Just off of, because he was like, usually I bring deals or something that cross Joe's. He was like, yeah, that might work. No, it might not work. No, that ain't me. Joe likes, I call him, he likes the bougie properties, right? So we always laugh about that. He goes, man, what you working on? I said, oh, you don't want these, man. You don't want these. These ain't you like the bougie stuff. And so we always laugh about that. But the main thing is the knowledge that Joe and everyone that I've come across is so willing to share. That's the invaluable part. And so we worked out a deal, and when those closed, that assignment fee will be $10,000. Okay. So I mean, when you break that down, that ain't a bad chunk of change. I'm like Jamila, I like those 5-digit checks. So kept going, and like I said, I'm hitting the phone, and I'll be honest, some of the stuff comes easier for me because I got through my fear phase early on because I've been in insurance. So where most people, I don't make it sound like it's just the easy thing. I mean, I hear a lot of no's. I hear people saying, man, where you get my number from? Don't call me anymore. But that just doesn't bother me as much because I've already dealt with it a lot. To me, this is easy compared to insurance. I don't know if you ever sold insurance, but you ever sold insurance full time? And when I was selling insurance, we were doing, 6 figures. So it wasn't like, I was selling a policy here and there. I mean, we were doing, pretty good sized numbers. And so if you ever sold insurance, you know that, yeah, that's a whole different beast. You got things called chargebacks. I mean, you think you're gonna make $3,000 or $4,000 this week, and then all of a sudden, no, you're not. So I was like, you know what? This is a piece of cake. I mean, it may take a little longer, but I'm trying to provide these guys with a service. I'm offering them money. So it's not like I'm asking them to buy anything from me. I'm offering to pay for something from them. And in many cases, it's a headache or something unwanted. So I see that as, to me, this is much easier than, calling somebody trying to get them to buy a policy, because most people just don't understand the value of insurance. Also, although it's very valuable, especially when building wealth, that's a whole other conversation. But when I would talk to people, it just doesn't feel the same. So I can tell people, some people say, I hate cold calling. I've heard people say, oh, that's not for me. I mean, it just doesn't bother me because it doesn't feel like sales to me. Although sales is involved, to me, I feel like I'm offering somebody something. If I call somebody and say, hey, man, let me buy your car. Hey, man, let me buy this. Let me buy that. That doesn't sound like a sale to me. That sounds like me offering, we contracting business. And so kept going. Me and Joe talk at least once a day on average, sometimes a couple times a day. And then we came across another deal. This is where it's going to be 47 properties. And it's going to be, a nice deal. We don't have all the particulars, so I won't speak too much about that yet because we hadn't got it under contract, but we do, we're working on something else. And so every time I call now, I pick on Joe. A few months ago, back last year when I would call, it'd go to voicemail. He might call me back, sometime later on that day or the next day. And I said, and I call him now, he answered that phone on the first or second ring, like, hey, man, what's going on? I said, oh, you answered my call now, huh, Joe? He's like, yeah, man, we family, man. We family. So we always joke about that. That I guess from the standpoint, he get people all the time that's just trying to glean information or just trying to ask questions but not really take action. So if I can give you guys anything, I know it's getting late and we've had some great stories, but I want to say, guys, just take action. Feel the fear, do it anyway. I used to think that, greatness was done in spite of fear, but most greatness comes from doing it even while you're afraid. So if you're nervous, you don't know, it's okay to mess up. That's not the end of the world. Trust me. I mean, I locked my second deal. I locked it up too high. I thought it was a done deal, but I didn't quit, didn't give up. And ended up, that's the one I'm going to make $4,000 off of. So, just stay focused, guys. when you don't feel like doing it, get up and do it anyway. When the fear, you think somebody's gonna tell you no, or you're afraid of what they're gonna say. Hey, you know what? You're offering them an opportunity to transact business with you. And so that's my story. I'll keep it short.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for that, Jerry. Like I said, I feel like I know you because me and Joe talked a lot about you and about the difference you're making in the industry. I will go ahead and let's recap a couple things real quick before we get done with you on that part. Is that you were making 6 figures and you just quit 6 figures to do this, right?
Yes. I made the last 2 years. I made 6 figures in insurance.
So here we are again, have another person. Everybody got a different story. The whole call tonight was about, that's why I told you, it was informal. It was about, hey, I told you my story, guys. I told you why I got into this. Everybody, T told you her story. Jamila told you her story. Nate told you her story. Now Jerry tell you her story. We got many folks got more stories, but we wanted to highlight a few. We can't talk all night long, but this is the purpose behind all this, right? Yeah, it's a purpose behind it. It's a purpose behind it. But we definitely wanted to prove that, hey, even though we don't have a proven system that works, we have proven knowledge that gives other folks value. And if they take the knowledge and be coachable and take actions, they're winning, right? Here's a young man's story was, hey, I walked away from a 6-figure salary to the unknown, but the known is you can make a lot of money in real estate. Am I speaking wrong or right?
No, it wasn't a salary. I was independent agent. This all commission, bro. So I'm used to, I was out there hustling for that.
Would you say you hustling the same for that? The same? Is the
No,
same?
I'm having fun every day, to be honest with you, man. I had started dreading insurance just to be, the sales of insurance in the market I was in. I still enjoy insurance because of the benefits, but that particular market I was working with, I started to get where I started dreading it. And getting up and going to do it on a day-to-day basis just kind of turned into a chore. That's when I knew it was time for me to do something else, just because it was, I found it wasn't invigorating anymore. I wasn't excited to get up and do it. But this is like, it's really like, it's not easy, but it's simple. I'll put it to you like that.
So simple, a caveman can do it.
That's right.
Yeah, because it's just rinse and repeat. It's just rinse and repeat. Once you learn, guys, he said something else earlier. Hey, look, if you'd have made $500, it's worth thousands of dollars. If he would have made $500, it's worth thousands of dollars. And I want to say the reason he said it because he know it works.
Yep, correct. That's right.
That's it. I mean, when you know something works, I don't know if you read the book, guys. It's a book out there that says, it's not a book. A person in one of the book authors says, you make deals to learn first. Then once you learn first with deals, make smaller crimp. You may not make any money when you first start doing it. You just learning the knowledge, right? You may be just making crumbs. But after you see it works, now you know what works, and you can go make as much money as you want because it's houses everywhere. Houses everywhere in every market in every kind of way. He said, Joe said, I don't want that garbage. But somebody else said, I do. That's right. Joe said that house gutted. But somebody else say, it's still a deal. Somebody else says this, somebody else said that. He said, tear the house down. But somehow even make $500 off a house and they said, tear it down.
That's right.
So it's no excuse, guys. There's no excuse and no excuse. There's no excuse. The only reason why I'm just like harping on this stuff because somebody on this call is ready to take action. Somebody's called, want to do it, but still scared. Got it. I'm sure it was hard to walk away from a 6-figure commission to the unknown.
Absolutely. That's one of the things that took me so long to really make that decision because I was going, okay. I used to ask Joe, hey, man, what do I need to do to make sure I make 10, 15, 10,000, at least 10,000 a month? And he was like, man, you have to do this, this, and this. And it's like, okay, you make it sound so simple, Joe. I mean, that's all I got to do. And I'm like, it's got to be more than that, But you got to put the time in. That's the big key. I don't want to get on here and tell people it's just sell them a dream, which you guys don't. You guys tell them, hey, you got to put the time and effort in. And a lot of times you'll see these gurus, quote unquote, and they make it seem like you're gonna start off and you're gonna start wholesaling and you'll be making $150,000 with your first year wholesaling, and all you got to do is this. And although you can make as much money as you want wholesaling, in real estate investing and, you know, buying, holding, and whatever strategy you choose, the you have to understand there are some things you got to go through, and all of us got to cut our teeth. And that was one of the things that was hard for me to leave from insurance, because I knew that I know I can go out and make 10 grand in a month to real estate where I wasn't sure, you know. And again, you got to remember it's April. I hadn't got my, you know, I'll just be getting my first check Friday. So I mean, that was, you know, we talking about, you know, almost 2.5, 3 months of, you know, just really out here trusting the process.
Wow, man, that's inspirational for real, Jerry. I appreciate you coming on, man, letting them know. I mean, honestly, I save you for last because I know about the multi-family houses, the multiple houses that you're doing, the package deal that you're doing, and that's huge. Yeah, Jamila, yeah, she hit a winner right there at 31. I didn't even know about the 31. I thought it was a little number. I thought it was another number, but the guy Lee. So, but and that's real talk. But guess what? Jamila ain't talking about the next deal she got right now. You're talking about 2 more deals that you're just waiting to finish. So that pipeline is nice. That funnel is nice. The lead stroke is nice. And you're doing it all through cold calling mostly. That's your majority. I know you said you wrote one handwritten letter, a direct mail, and you did a little drive for dollars, I want to say. But the most thing you're doing is cold calling, huh?
Yeah, that's mostly what I've been doing, cold calling. I bought the call tools software. I get on the phone, I bought my list, and I let it roll. I let it do all it does the heavy lifting. All I got to do is talk to people that answer the phone.
So who if I can ask, who actually introduced this to you before Chevy and Joe?
I've seen it coming across, you know, you see the gurus and people selling it on YouTube and things like that. I just happened to I wanted somebody local that I could actually, if I had questions, kind of work with, or even work, you know, kind of mentor under, that I could, you know, because I knew I wasn't going to go virtual right away. I always wanted to stay in my market. I said, let me do a couple deals, you know, pretty close to home within a 50-mile radius or so. And then after that, I feel more comfortable going virtual. But yeah, I didn't have anybody. I just, like I said, I saw those guys just by Facebook and default.
And I'm on that. This is the last question I got before I go on. Let Joe talk. What have you? I don't know. Joe may got off. I know he got some things going on. He's busy trying to close some more deals, and even this late at night. So you have not formally got trained by anybody. The only thing you had is an ideal, a concept on real estate. You can make money. You knew wholesaling was the first, avenue to get you started, to get some cash quick. And then you just said, hey, I know some people that's a little bit smarter than me that I can call and ask questions. And like you said, last year during this time, or a few months ago, whenever you first met Joe, he didn't answer the phone all the time. But once you got serious and said you're doing it full time, now Joe answers the phone for you. What did I say wrong?
Oh, that's correct. That's exactly what happened. I don't have any formal training in the wholesale and the real estate side. I hadn't taken any courses yet. I mean, but I went to YouTube University now. I'm not saying I'm just totally green, but I'm kind of a ready, shoot, aim kind of guy. I mean, that's just my personality. Unfortunately, sometimes it get me in trouble because I'm not necessarily the most organized person, but I'll go out there and make it happen. So if we say, hey, we finna take over that hill, I'm saying you're gonna be like, well, Jerry, I'm running towards the hill. Well, let's work out the plan first. Now we'll figure out when we get there. So I don't know. Everybody ain't got that personality, but you know.
Well, I mean, the reason why I bring that up is because in the future, right now, guys, let the cat out the hat. The reason why I met with Joe was not for fun. It wasn't for anything besides to talk about this business of this real estate, right? Right now, we're going to continue the Monday classes, but however, we're going to start some coaching classes now, all right? That's the part that I want to meet with Joe about. We wanted to clear our heads, be somewhere that we ain't got to worry about everything that's going on. Want to meet a neutral spot, and we wanted to talk business. And when I tell you I got on that plane, and I wrote notes, and I read books, and I read this, and I read that, and the stuff I read, oh, I didn't know it was right beside me. Oh, shoot, it's not right beside me. It's over there, in my backpack. But it was a business evaluations. That's what I read about, business evaluation. That's it. I wanted to know how you pick a business partner and how you evaluate that person to work with them. The one thing that everybody on this call said was Joe had something to do with coaching them, mentoring them, and helping them, right? I even told you that, hey, Joe decided to help me with this call. He knew my dreams, my desires. He knew what I wanted to do. He created the environment and said, all right, LT is here. That's what he did, right? I told him my dreams. I told him I would do. I didn't need Joe to teach me real estate. I wanted me and Joe to get together, learn some stuff, play around, and do some business together, make some money. And I make some money with Joe. But I wanted to teach class. I wanted to start a Facebook or all this stuff. I want to be a guru. I want to be a real estate guru, right? I need to start somewhere. How you start? Hey, Facebook Live, right? YouTube Live. And that's what we're doing, right? So that's where we start now. Now, Joe just said, hey, this is your vision. This is what you want to do. I support. He said, honestly, I don't want to do it because people don't take action. That's bottom line. He said, I don't want to do it because they don't take action. It's wasting my time. If they take action, I love it. If they don't take action, I'm done. Man, I don't want to deal with them people. They don't care. They just want to bleed you dry. Right? That's his word. I'm like, dude, it's not about, I said, a tree don't grow overnight. I'm telling y'all what we personally talk about. A tree don't grow overnight. The seed is planted, water comes, sun comes, several years, several months, several days. Then all of a sudden the tree just, next morning, you're like, dang, that tree big. It didn't happen overnight. It happened over time. I have so many different documents that I've bought, so many books, so many YouTube stuff, so many PDFs, so much everything, because I buy, read. So much now that I think I got so much in my head, I don't know what the hell to do with it. So why not give it away, right? And I've been giving it away. I'm going to continue to give it away. However, guys, next week, hopefully I can get this PowerPoint to somebody else. I literally typed everything that we came up with on the phone, on my cell phone, my Galaxy Note phone, the whole time I was flying home. That's it. I just typed everything up, cut and paste that stuff into Microsoft Word, in an email, send it to myself, cut and paste a PowerPoint, create a PowerPoint. That's basically what I did, right? It's horrible. It's horrible, right? It's not ready to be seen. That's why I would thank God that Joe called me and said, I got some people ready to talk up for us, right? And that's what I want to do. I want to give those people a chance to talk up. I need to look through this doggone PowerPoint. I need to clean this thing up a little bit more and make it a better product. But I was ready. I was ready. Right? I was ready to present something. I was ready to go ahead and deliver the message. But why not let people talk about what we have done? Because we don't have a proven curriculum, but we got a proven people. We have evidence from people that just told you what actions they've taken from this time. It's more, I only had one on the call tonight, but I got folks that they started, they going, I don't know what's his name. I can't think of the young man's name, but several more. Hey, I'm gonna open up. Joe, you want to go ahead and speak, man, or y'all want to open up for questions right quick, man? It's like 10:32. Oh, the other thing is next week, an hour, right? An hour. That's what we got for you, right? Mondays is going to 30 to 45 minutes of a brief, 15 minutes questions and answers. If not 15 minutes filled up, we're hanging up. 1 hour Monday calls after this week. That's it. Because I'm behind in school, I'm behind in class, I'm behind on a whole bunch of other stuff that I need to be doing. And I need to knock this stuff out. And 2 hours on a Monday for free is just too much, right? So we're going to coaching calls. Anybody need extra help? Anybody need extra assistance? We're going to have a subscription plan. It's a 6-month subscription plan. That's what we kind of played out. Why we did 6 months? Because we're not trying to make you pay us for nothing. If you're going to pay, we want you to say, hey, 6 months, if you ain't did nothing, bye. We don't want to keep on messing with you. Find somebody else. Go pay the $17,000 they offering now. Go pay the $30,000 that some folks offering. Go pay the I want to say $6,000 some people are offering. Go on the internet. They all on there. These are not make-believe numbers. Some of them 60,000. I ain't even telling y'all the real numbers, but I'll tell you the lower numbers. I know you got 30, you got 17, and you got 6. Our price is not going to be that high. And all we asking for 6 months. 6 months for you to take action. And that's way too much time. Jerry just told you he started in February. He closed the deal already. And he got 2 more in the pipeline. He started in February. It's April. 2.5 months, right? Jamila took a year. But that's only because she's stuck over there in Trinidad and she had to do everything virtual, everything from over there. So it's a little bit more challenging. She got a child, she got a family, she got other things going on, right? Nate just started. Nate, 18-year-old, he just started, and he got a house right now. He's gonna put in a contract, right? T, she just started. She want rental properties. It's a little easier to rent a property. That's really simple, right? She started in January and she got 4, and it's April, and it's 4. What? She averaged 1 a month. January, February, March, April, 4. Guys, if you take action, you got it. I said when I first started in 2017, I wanted 5 houses. I'm over 5. I'm over 10. And I had, I want to say 4 in the first, I could have been finished in 1 year, but I was scared. I'm the low risk person. I just want to do 1 house. I want to make sure it's good, get a tenant in there. I'll let it go. Okay. Oh, that's a killer deal. Let me buy it. Let it sit there for like 6, 4, 5 months. Okay. Y'all start working on it. I like gutting houses out, and I like creating value. So I'm the low risk person that says I want the minimal risk and I get minimum return. Joe more of the high risk person when I get higher risk, a maximum return. He make more money per deal because he invests into high end properties. Like he said, like Jerry said, the bougie properties. LT go into the hood and he invests into the hood. No, I'm not worried about shooting and killing. Hey, they need to live too. People need to kill and live in the hood. But a house is $50,000 and a house is $200,000. Yeah, right? Different type of income. I just need a steady cash flow. I'm not worried about the hood. I want to invest in the hood. That's my goal. I want to revive the hood. So I gut the house out, give these people something nice to live in. And I'm proud of the fact that, hey, I don't have tenants being in a slumlord position, and I'm doing in the hood and taking care of some people. That's my pride, right? And I'm making a little bit of money at the same time. And all my houses reach Section 8 standards. That way I can make more money, even though a cash buyer gonna bring me a little money, Section 8 gonna bring me more money. But it's not about just the money, it's about providing a service to some people that's in need and not just make money, but make money while doing it. That's my personal opinion. So that's how I do what I do. Guys, y'all stay on this call the whole time. We appreciate it. Joe, you have an opportunity to speak, man. What you got? I'm gonna let you close it out.
All right, I'm here, man. Well, first of all, I want to thank all those guys for such great words of inspiration, encouragement to to myself, to you, to us as a group, as a network. Man, I'm just super excited, ecstatic about the progress that we're all making, and I'm here to serve the people that are willing to be served, to coach the people that are willing to be coached. And I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity of being able to spend several uninterrupted days with you, my brother, as well as getting the opportunity to get to know Nate. Excited to go with him tomorrow on his first house tour. And hopefully next week, he'll have, well, it's no hopefully, we make the tour, he'll have some news to share. Whether a transaction that happens or not, he'll have some news to share. So I'm just thankful that you guys are, entrusting in us with learning some critical information that has potential to influence the masses and change your lives. So, tonight I'm a little long-winded. I feel like LT. It's probably because I haven't spoken all night. So it's been one of those evenings over here in the Virgin Islands for me, in which I know LT and Nate understand, what, the severity of what's all taking place right now. So guys, man, I really appreciate you guys, man. As you guys are fans of mine, trust and believe I am a fan of yours as well. And together we can all accomplish some really, really great things. So LT, that's it for me, man. I'm gonna sit back and I'll answer any questions if anyone has anything. If not, hey, you close us out, brother.
I mean, the floor is open for questions. I appreciate you, brother. No one have any questions? Unmute. Well, Thank y'all. Y'all stayed on pretty late. Hey, I look, I'm wearing my oh dang. Okay, that's a mirror effect. Look, guys, I got my little embroidery, now. Had my little face mask on from the get-go.
DC you represent.
I don't know if y'all can see. Okay. Yeah, look, hey, look, it ain't the best look, it ain't the best product, but look, it's the person, I'm telling you, the folks that got everything I got on, it was people that work in the middle of the doggone store. And I just say, hey, look, how much you charge? I don't man ask how much they charge. I say, hey, here's my logo. Can you make this? Don't know if that is not good products, right? Not good products, but I'm helping somebody. I'm helping them. I'm sowing a seed into there so they can go ahead and do other things. The woman gave me these shirts back. Yeah, you can barely see the words in here, and there's all kinds of this going on. You can see the logo. That's all that matters. Guess what? She said, how you like it? I ain't say nothing negative. I ain't say nothing ugly. It's not that good. But I said, ma'am, you did the best you can? Yes, you did. Okay, that's all that matters. How much I owe you? Here's your money. No willing, no dealing. Here's your money. You did the best you can. Thank you. And they gave me, I was honest and said, hey, I'm practicing with you. I haven't done this before. No problem. I haven't done a lot of things before either. And if nobody give me a chance to do it, I still want to have done it. So I'm saying it to you as closing words, which both been closing words a long time ago. Since y'all don't have any questions, guys, the only thing I ask you to do is try and take action. Not try to take action, take action, do it. Next week, I hopefully this presentation be ready. Whatever state it's gonna be presented. And we're gonna move forward with a coaching call, right? So from now on, 1 hour, Mondays. After next week, we'll get way ahead, but that's it. 1 hour on Mondays for this training. And whomever signed up for the coaching call, you get 2 more additional hours a week, right? 2 more additional hours a week. You get an extra hour after this call. Since we are doing 2 hours, we do the first hour is basic information for anybody. Then we'll do another call, either hang up and get on another call. And it's information just for the people that's a part of the group that pay subscription. 2 days a week, we'll meet for 1 hour. And 1 hour, we'll go over the stuff that you need to do. You'll get to weigh in, ask questions. The next hour is you coming with your questions and answers. You coming with your questions and your answers. Questions, and we giving you answers. You coming with the actions you taking, and we providing solutions or coaching you with ways to do it, or telling you, just like we did with Nate, just like we did with Jamila, just like we did with T, just like we did with Jared, just like we did with, I can't think of what boy, Caleb, and all other folks that I work with too, that moved on, that took action, that's got rental properties now. Like my cousin, when I was freaking first starting, and he got 30 houses and I had 0. And I said, what did you do, kinfolk? Tell me what to do. He said, you told me what to do. And he did exactly what I said. I'm like, dang, I should have been here. And I still ain't got that many 30 because I'm slow. I like to talk instead of do. So, all right, guys, that's what it is. So please invite others. Once we make this YouTube channel, this go live, once we share this with you, invite others, send it to others, see how many. We only taking 10 people. That's it. Because if more than 10, then we have to do more than 2 hours. We have to do another hour. And we don't have time for that. So I think 10 people will work, right? 10 people will work. And I'm gonna give you another outline. It's a 6-month program. That's what I'm gonna say, 6-month program, 2 hours a week, 3 hours a week, really, if you count this call. So you're getting 3 hours a week, basically, of information. I don't think it's a bad idea. And it's been vetted with everybody else, right? So that's all I got for you all. If anybody have any questions, last chance. Hearing none. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your actions. Thank you for sharing and liking the Facebook or the YouTube, whatever. I got used to it. Share, like, subscribe, and see y'all soon, and share with others so we can get those 10 people. From those 10 people that sign up, that is going to be unbelievable that this really works.
Is it froze?
Yep, I think so.
Okay.
Did it freeze? Okay. Well, y'all have a good night.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Good night.